Hello and welcome to Champions News. I'm your host, Gremknot, and today we're going to bring you some data and information. We're going to talk about all the upcoming changes or changes that have already happened. So without further ado, let's begin. We'll go ahead and start off with our Guild Wars tournament, October 7th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you do adjust this for your time zone. This will be 4 players from each of the top 8 guilds from the snapshot that was taken yesterday. This is a standard Pauper owned cards tournament. The only heroes that are allowed are the free heroes Skibidi and Gemini. There are a slew of banned cards: Urgot, Gallic, Normie, Firia, Drew, Lighty, Deathhawk, Icene, and Molto are your banned cards. The prizes for this tournament are 16 packs for first, 10 tournament cards for the guild leader to distribute among the entire guild, 12 packs for second, and 8 packs for third. We hope to see you there. As with everything, I would like to remind you that we have a town hall meeting tomorrow, right after Arena Brawl ends at 0000 UTC. Where I will host it, and I will be joined by Coomlord, the CEO and founder of the game, who will bring you some news and updates, and we'll open it up for some questions. So if you have ever had a question that you'd like to ask, or you'd like to know what's going on with the game and the current moves and things that we're making, come by and check it out. We also have another update here with the tournament payment structure being revamped. So it looks like we took some gems from the top, kind of added them to the bottom. We'll briefly go over them. So we have the daily tournaments are paying out 400 gems for first, 200 for second, third and fourth will get 100, and fifth through eighth will get 50. This is a 100 gem increase, I believe, in terms of the number of gems that are being paid out. The weekly tournaments have moved from what the previous very top-heavy payout structure was to 2,000 gems for first, 1,000 gems for second, third and fourth will each get 500 gems each, and fifth through eighth will get 250 gems each, along with 9 through 16 getting 100 gems apiece. So now you'll be rewarded a little more for making the top 16 and incentivized to play a little more. As well as if you make it to top 8 and you don't get into the third and fourth place or the first and second place, you'll still get a nice reward that's a little bigger than what you would have normally got. As a quick reminder as well, hourly payouts are now doubled as of October 1st. So instead of getting your hourly $1 that is split amongst all ranked players, it is now $2 split amongst all ranked players. Hearing that this might be adjusted again later in a few months, don't know, we'll have to see. We're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to take a look at the weekend open here. We have Aldrich Soyhammer being played 4 times in the weekend open, with Zara and Incendium leading the way with 5 decks apiece. Inferno with 4, Venomiscus with 2, Seraph with 3, Madeline with 3. Overall, a pretty diverse field in our 36-player weekend open. I think that in terms of what we're seeing, this is a really good parity across the decks that people are choosing to bring. With that, the weekend open, let's take a look at a couple of the deck lists from the top 8 here. We had Rain and Justice playing Madeline and Incendium. You can quickly just look over both of their deck lists. If you'd like to pause the video, you can. Moving on, we had Mad Mardigan and Be Expect Real, also playing Madeline and Incendium. We have Camillari and Ben playing Aldrich and Seraph, respectively. Both very good looking lists. And finally, we have Talango and Alvin playing Aldrich and Seraph, with Alvin ultimately winning our weekend open. Congratulations to Alvin. Hope you go and buy some more cards with your tournament winnings that you will be receiving soon. Taking a look at the list, we can just quickly glance over it. Looks like it's a very aggressive list with Gallic and Joidy, Ankia, some Bofas, some aggro monsters. So we have some Rushers, Sala, looks like Provoke and Sluggerknot. It's not really aimed to play the long game. This is more of an aggressive list, and I think that suited him very well this weekend. Taking a look now at the hero ladder win rate. So since the last update, this is the top 10 heroes with at least 100 games played and their win rates. Every week I'm going to aim to bring you weekly hero ladder win rates. So please take a look at this. We'll quickly glance over it. Aethernar up in first with near 75%, Sakuragen at 73%, Madeline at 70%, Seraph at 65%, Phallus at 64%, Soyhammer at 61%, Zara at 60%, Incendium at 58%, Venomiscus at 57%, and Satana coming in, rounding out the top 10 at 53%. I think this is a very good overlook and overview of what the meta is currently on the ladder, and we will make sure we get you some more stats for next week, and we're going to update this every single week. Now with that, I have just one more piece of content. I'd like to take a look at the blog post here. So the blog post that was put out by Boss MTG has some great updates inside of it, the small changes that we were looking to make. So without further ado, we've got Combustion going from 5 to 8 damage and 5 to 8 loss of life to 6 damage to anything, and you take 6 damage. So this is going to a flat rate. And this is also going to be used with Lilith, so now you can no longer take damage from Combustion with Lilith. So I hope to see you guys out there on the battlefield playing with some Lilith. Yeet is now moving to discarding a card from your hand to deal X damage to the enemy player. So the example given here is Marble. Yeet 5, you would get to select a card from your deck and fire that away, that 5 damage away at your opponent. And I think this is a great change for Yeet. We have hero activations that are going to once per turn. So all heroes are going to end up with once per turn activation abilities. And there are some updates to some heroes. Dofa's active went from 7 mana to 6 mana to summon an Icy. Bofa went from 5 mana to 4 mana so that they can summon a Fuku. Skibidi went from 3 mana to 2 mana. Phallus was reverted from 4 to 3, so Phallus was 3, moved to 4, and is now back to 3 mana to get your Fangs. Thor has been moved from 6 mana to 4 mana. Very interested to see how this shakes up the meta. I think this could be very good. Nazir went from 5 mana to 4 mana so that you can summon a Knife. Kessie was changed in the passive to add +3/+3 with 0 cards in your deck, as well as the active Lucky Gust going from 3 mana to 2 mana. And rounding out the changes here, we have Slagarth, who went from the active of 8 mana for Pyromagnus to 4 mana to summon 1 Volpe. Volpe will hit 2 enemy champions with Slagarth's passive. So I think you're getting some good value there. You can definitely go check out the blog post. We'll put the link in the description below. But go check out the blog post to read more information and kind of the thoughts from the team on some of those items. Also, if you haven't checked your account, September leaderboard rewards are currently out. Gen 5 packs, all the way from 1 for top 200 to 5 at top 10, along with some shards and promos, have been sent out. So please go check your accounts. We'll be super, super excited to get those rewards. That's all I have time for today. We'll see you next week. I'm Gremknot. Thank you for tuning in to the Champions News.